Okay, Robert Eagleson here with the Calgary Hook and Hackle Club, and today I'm doing a fly I call the Prince John. It has all the makings of John Barr's famous Copper John, but instead of having the traditional wing case, I have tied in Mylar tinsel in the Prince Nymph style, hence the name Prince John. So I'll just run through what I have here. I'm tying this on a Daiichi size 12, number 1150. The bead is a brass bead in size 7/64 or 2.8 millimeter. This is a tangerine color. I like the brightness of this. I'm tying it in with very hot orange Goose Biots here in the back, which the bead kind of accents that color. The abdomen is, I'm using a heavier medium ultra wire here in wine. The purple, again, for royalty and the Prince John. I'm using a medium wire as opposed to the brassy. Brassy certainly easier to use, and you could certainly use that. I'm looking for a little bit more segmentation in here. That's why I've used the heavier wire. Tail, I mentioned, I've got a hot orange Goose Biot. I've got some 0.015 lead wire underneath. The dubbing you see there is diamond dub in a black. And the wings tied print style, I'm using Uni Mylar number 10, which is 1/16 of an inch. Alright, so we'll just set that aside. I will find my hook, and I will place that in my vise. I will find my lead wire, and I want about 6 wraps here. Six, 7 wraps. Put that tag in. I'm going to slide it right up inside that bead. Adds a little extra weight, not a bad thing. And I'm centering that bead. Thread, I'm using again, a hot orange 70 denier thread. And the reason for that, I want a little bit of a hot spot up front there when I finish this fly off. So, a bit of a dam behind the lead, and then I will just go up through that lead, make sure it doesn't move. Bring my thread down. I'm just going to tip my hook just a bit here, and I find my biots here, and I'm going to clip off a couple. Now I have no lots of tires that tie these in 2 at a time. I have better luck tying them in 1 at a time. So I'm going to take my first one here, and I'm going to put it like right on top of that hook, even facing me a little bit here. So when I tie that in, my thread torque is going to move that around to the other side. Just find my second biot now, make sure that the curve is opposite the other one so that they splay away from the hook shank, and I'll tie that in on the near side. And then I'll just clip my excess. And then I'll bring my thread up, straighten out my hook a bit. Right behind that lead wire, I'll find my copper wire here in purple, and I'm going to tie that on the near side, and I'm going to bring that down right down to the top of those biots. And then I'm going to bring my thread back up, counterspin it, flatten it out. And I want to make a nice smooth ramp of thread up and over that lead wire. So we're just going to flatten my thread and make a nice smooth ramp over that wire. That's not looking too bad. That looks pretty good. Alright, let's give that a half hitch. Get my thread out of the way. And I'm going to wind that wire in tight touching wraps right up behind that bead. So again, I'm using the heavier wire. Gives me a little extra weight, and I like a little more segmentation there. And I'm using that hot orange thread, so if your wraps aren't right tight using this heavy gauge wire, that hot orange is going to bleed through, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Just going to try to get those tight if I can. Yep. Alright, you can see how that orange is kind of bleeding through, but that's alright. Alright, let's tie off this wire. Helicopter it off. And I'm going to take my diamond dub here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of dubbing right in front of that wire. Just about like that. And then I will find my Mylar, and I'm going to take that Mylar, and I'm just going to clip the end to a point. And while I'm here, I may as well do the other end as well. So I'll just clip that to a point. Alright, now I'm going to tie in these wings, Prince Nymph style. So I want the natural curve going down, and I want the length about to the end of the bend. Position that a little longer, about like that. Okay, that looks good. I'm just going to fold that over and catch it, clip my excess. I'll take the other end that I've clipped to a point, and I'll tie in the second wing. Okay, the wings look about even. Fold that back, tie it down, clip my excess, and then I'll just take a little more diamond dub here. And we will just dub that up. That's lots of dubbing there. Alright, so we got that in there now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a little bit of Sally Hansen's here, and I'm just going to put that on the thread. And then I will find my whip finisher, and I will just whip finish that with that soaked Sally Hansen's right behind the bead. And there we go. Find my scissors, clip it off. there we have the Prince John, the makings of the Copper John, and hybrid between the Copper John and the Prince Nymph. And I think that that flash, subtle flash there is going to attract some fish. You got lots of weight in there with the bead and the wire, lead wire, and the uni wire. I just know that that's going to be a good fly. Thanks for watching.